Today, I get to hear 3 words from Jackson I rarely get to hear. What are they, Jackson?
What are you talking about?
You know, just say them. Just 3 words.
I was wrong.
He was wrong.
I was wrong.
He was wrong about Superman, and we will get to
Greatly.
that in this episode. Welcome to Heard About It. Welcome, guys, back in the studio for it's a short episode, and we will tell you why, because it actually has to do with the topic of the episode. We're going to do a short special episode on our reviews and thoughts of the Superman, James Gunn's Superman that just came out. The reason it's so short is we are literally going back to the theater tonight to rewatch it, to watch it again. If that gives you any indication of how much we loved it. But yeah, that's an important thing to note. We both liked it. Let's open with that.
Yes,
this
and
man.
that's not that doesn't always happen. I was so confident. This mic is gonna fall over. I was so confident that it was not looking that good, but my dad had showed up to me and he said, "Hey, I got an extra ticket. Do you want to go?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, sure." And the more and more time went on from that week, because it was like a week out, I was like, I'm getting a little excited about this. I'm like,
You should get excited.
This will be a little bit fun. And then I go and I watch it, and oh my gosh, was that film a great film? And I was very wrong.
Is it a perfect film?
No.
I think, I will go into my full thoughts about it. I think there are a few CGI issues that he didn't have enough time to tweak. Someone did a good, I feel like he felt like some of the fight scenes felt rubbery at moments with the CGI. It still looked great.
a little bit.
There was just a little bit of moments, but like with how much he was doing, I didn't really complain. And like I heard a lot of people like, you can't use that much CGI. It's like with the Superman movie of that scale, it's kind of impossible not to do that much CGI.
Before I forget, I do want to talk. I looked on IMDb today. IMDb. Sorry, we threw this episode together really, really quickly.
Yes.
Rushing. And it says gross worldwide, and I did the math. They are 98.78% to reaching the budget that they had, estimated budget they had.
Now they got to surpass that. And I was also comparing it to the Iron Man. And look, I will say there's been a lot of talk about like, oh, did it perform well enough? It opened. It had a great opening. Like it was the big box office for last weekend.
I think it's going to reach it.
Because here's what I think. I think the opening weekend only tells half of a story of how successful a movie is going to be in the box office. The other half of this is its second weekend. If it's making a ton of money, not obviously as much as the opening weekend, but if it's still managing to make a lot of money on the second weekend, you know you have a good box office movie. Because it's going to... So I think it'll rake it. I was just comparing it to Iron Man. I think Iron Man made like 500 worldwide. The first movie. I don't know if that's accounted for inflation or not. Because I'm thinking of like, people are saying it's not as big as Marvel's, like... I mean, it's outperforming Marvel's more recent movies. So, I mean, it's got that. I don't know if it's outperformed Thunderbolts yet. I'd have to check that. But
I think it probably has.
Yeah. But no. Back to like the actual movie though. I don't want to talk about kind of like the success or box office, but like it's such a good superhero movie.
Spoilers for Superman, obviously.
Are we going to go into spoilers? Do you want to? All right, we'll do a spoiler. Yeah.
So if you're watching this and you haven't watched it yet,
go watch it.
If you care, then
if you care
leave.
and just leave.
But if you don't care, yes.
Don't care. Okay.
Whatever.
All right, so if we are going to do spoilers, I do want to talk about one thing.
Yeah.
That I changed my mind on. I was very at first upset.
Let me guess. Parents. Yep.
I was very upset with the change to the reasoning he is sent to Earth by his parents. And as if you need a quick reminder, it's revealed like he had the first half of his parents' message that made it seem like the traditional message that Superman gets from his parents. Oh, they want him to be the symbol of hope, to be this great person for Earth.
I like it.
And then Lex is able to fix the rest of the message, and it reveals that they wanted him to basically rule over Earth. And originally, I did not like it.
I like it.
But the more I thought about it, I said, look, Gunn is facing a world of anti-Superman archetypes, where that is the story. You have the Homelanders, you have the Omni-Mans, you have these dark Superman archetypes running around media now that are very popular.
I was about to say, it's very reminiscent of a recent show that I was started watching, but you kind of just said the character for it.
Oh,
so.
sorry.
I mean, it's kind of a spoiler for season
Kind of a
one.
spoiler, but
I don't
it's,
think
it's
they picked
Omni-Man.
up on it. Yeah.
Anyway, but there's these dark archetypes, and so I think Gunn was saying like, what if Clark in the DCU was meant to be one of those archetypes, and kind of becomes an invincible character, kind of like in spite of what he's supposed to be, because of his upbringing as a human, it's better. And so I think it definitely emphasizes.
So what you're
Gunn,
saying is Invincible is just the better thing, right?
No.
Like,
What I was just trying to say is,
no, I'm kidding.
I think Gunn has faced a lot of ideas of Superman not being a human, and Gunn really wanted to express the idea that like, hey, Superman is just a regular guy in this universe. He's always been a regular guy who just happens to have these extraordinary powers. And I think by doing that with his parents' lineage and like what his parents wanted for him, and contrasting that to the Kents, John and Martha, that really, I think, emphasized his humanity. And I really liked it. And so I think in hindsight, I was like, actually, I think it was a smart move. And he talked about it in an interview. He said he wanted to be able to preserve the things that were central and very important to Superman as a character while changing things that he could change without sacrificing the character.
And I think it was a really smart decision in the fact that we've had so many Superman origin stories already. And changing this origin story ever so slightly.
Yeah, just a little tweak.
Where it adds some more flavor and character to Superman. I think it really spices it up and gives it a new, fresh painted coat.
Yeah. If there's one thing you could change about this movie, what would it be?
Ooh.
Because that, I mean, for me, I wish it had slowed down in the first 30 minutes. He really like wants to get to the meat of like it's a fast first act. Like he really wants to get you to like to a certain point in the movie, and I feel like it does slow down. I think catches a good pace.
I think
once he turns himself in, I think
something that I think they could have changed to answer your question, to be able to prove better that video wasn't altered.
Yeah.
The fact that humans could so easily determine like, it's not fake.
And the fact that it was Lex, the fact that it was Luthor Corps that was translating it, and Terrific is like, nah, man, those guys are legit. I was like, really? We're like, trusting the legit guys that work for Lex?
Guys?
Like, who are these guys? Like, you know, like that.
Like,
I will
get
say,
it. Like the story had to continue, but like
But again, I think that goes into my thing. Like, we didn't have enough time to settle on those kind of like. It was really moving quickly on like Hammer Barovia just shows up and then he's gone. Like we never like we know who he is, but like we never see Ultraman be Hammer of Barovia again.
Yeah, that's
and then
true.
it's like whoa, like you've been setting him up like it kind of because the beginning kind of sets him up.
Well, he would have beat him at the end.
What
if he had the suit on? I feel like he would have won.
Yeah, the suit's pretty cool.
It's very powerful.
I think, but what did you think about the Ultraman review? I actually wasn't. I don't know why I wasn't expecting it.
I called it.
You said
from the moment he said, "How did he get in here? He needed Kryptonian DNA." I was like, "Well, then that's the clone." Yeah. Like I immediately.
Yeah. And what's interesting about it, and I think we talked about this briefly. It's clearly, and people have talked about this. He's clearly Ultraman could easily come back as Bizarro.
I don't know who that is.
So Bizarro is a really cool Superman villain. He's the anti-Superman. So he's like this weird zombie version of Superman who kind of has the opposite of his powers. So he has like frost beams. He breathes fire, but he matches him in strength. And he like talks backwards. But he kind of and it was an attempted clone. In most canons, it's Lex's attempt to clone Superman that goes wrong. And so I think what you could do is Ultraman maybe goes to that black hole, ends up in some weird alternate reality that messes him up and he becomes Bizarro, which would be a cool, I think. But like clearly, I think, because Ultraman is never a Lex clone in the comics. He's an alternate universe Superman. So clearly I think he wanted to take like Bizarro and Ultraman and kind of make them into one character.
Which is a good thing. There are so many characters and combining that. That's kind of what the MCU was really good at, was combining these characters into one character.
Yes.
You know, not to say that Superman is like the MCU. That's something
we do need to talk about.
How different Superman felt from just an MCU movie.
It did feel like a Gunn film. And I really like that like, even though it was this big blockbuster film, it was very clearly a James Gunn film and like his presence. And I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of his style or his sense of humor, but I think I love that phrase, you know, a movie you're trying to make for everybody is going to end up being a movie for nobody.
Yeah.
You know, you have to choose, like, it's going to be this kind of movie and it's got to have this personalization to it. And that's going to be appealing to some people and not appealing to some. Like, I have no qualms with people saying, yeah, this wasn't my favorite movie. Because I think there's a lot of reasons not to say. Like, I personally loved it and I thought it was great. But I also understand people who maybe aren't totally attuned with Gunn style saying, this wasn't for me, you know?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to
No,
adjust.
he's trying to adjust. But no, yeah, the tone is totally different. It's still funny. I don't know. In a way, though, I'm trying to feel like it's Gunn's humor. Definitely brighter. It's a brighter tone.
Now, who's your favorite character?
Favorite character? I mean, Superman was amazing. I mean, if I have to pick, like,
I think Mr. Terrific.
just terrific. I was gonna say he's such a good, like, he's that character that's just getting stuff done. I like those characters. Like, they're all kind of like, you know, like,
Of course, I have trackers in everybody.
yeah, like he's just kind of the smart guy. I mean, against, like, we've already said spoilers, but like his fight scene is
That was
amazing.
so good.
It's probably my favorite scene. Also, the song they use is 5 Years Time by No and the Whale, which is a very nostalgic song for me. I listened to it a lot in like middle school and high school with my siblings. So it came on and I'm like, what is going on? I was like, this is so surreal. No, but I was just, and I love that Gunn brought in Mr. Terrific because I think what Gunn clearly was looking at, and I think this is maybe what the DCU is, you know, there's all this talk of like, you know, I think, you know, you want to have more diversity in films and superhero movies, which I think is great. But I think what Gunn said was, here's this, you know, lesser known African-American character in the DC universe. Mm-hmm. Let me make him a central character. Let me bring him into kind of more of a spotlight to kind of do that. And I think that's a great way to do that. And I really liked that. Mm-hmm. Kind of, but no, I think I think it's cool what they're doing with the Justice Gang. Clearly they're kind of leading up to the Justice League. I mean, that's very clear what they're doing in this movie.
Yeah, obviously. Which is an amazing way to do that too.
Oh yeah.
I think that calling it, you know, the Justice Gang,
and then they just keep saying it's like a pending name.
Yeah, and already having these established characters that like this is already starting to become a thing, which would make sense.
And it's very clear there was a Justice League before this.
Yes,
because there's a mural. I don't know if y'all probably seen some Easter egg videos. If you haven't, there's a mural up on the Hall of Justice in that scene.
I know. So the original Flash with like the
Jay
metal
Garrick.
helmet. Yes.
Yeah.
And then another one that I thought was like really interesting was Vibe was on there.
Okay.
Do you know who Vibe is?
I don't know Vibe.
Did you watch the Flash CW TV show?
Like the first 3 seasons.
Yes. In the third or late second one, I think. Do you remember the character Cisco?
Oh, that's his superhero.
That's Vibe.
Okay. That's cool.
I think in that TV show they combined him and made him become a different like superhero part of DC that wasn't actually supposed to be him.
Okay.
But like that's the character. Okay.
And then they also did Dr. Fate. And I think there was an older Green Lantern up there, wasn't there?
I don't remember.
Like one of the OG. Okay, but I think Dr. Fate was on there. So some older kind of like golden age DC superheroes were up there.
What's their name again? Because like they have a special name called like something, not the Justice League, but it's.
Oh, it's like, I know what you're talking about. The older version of the Justice League isn't actually called the Justice League of America. It's like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, basically there's been different like justice organizations of superheroes in the DC universe. Clearly, I think Gunn obviously wants to do one with, you know, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, one of the Green Lanterns, you know, like do the kind of the classic lineup.
I was talking to somebody today and they were like, man, it's going to be really weird if Matt Reeves' Batman interacts with this Superman because they're so different. But then I pointed out, I was like, well, if you remember at the end of the Batman Part 1, he kind of comes to a revelation that he needs to be a sign of hope. And I feel like in the second movie, his character is going to change slightly based off of that.
I've always said, I keep saying like, oh, you know, it's not too late. He could put, you know, Pattinson in as the DCU Batman. I don't think he should. I really don't think he should. Because it's very clear to me Gunn wants comic accurate and as close as he can get to the comic book archetypes.
That's what the Batman was praised over, right?
It's definitely the spirit of it. But when I mean like you know what I mean? Like Superman has his dog Krypto. He's in the Fortress of Solitude. He's fighting all these classic villains. They look like they're characters from the comics.
I mean, was there no Batcave?
I mean, there's kind of a Batcave, but I mean, it's not like, I mean, it's not the comic. It's not a comic accurate Batmobile. We don't have comic. I mean, I want a DCU Batman where his Batcave has the large penny and the T-Rex in it, and you probably don't even know what I'm talking about.
I know the large penny.
There's a large penny and he has a T-Rex in his Batcave in the comics. And like, I want
think
like
I've seen
Gunn
that
to
in the
like
animated.
produce a movie where that's in the Batcave and he has a Robin and he has all these gadgets.
Robin might be his way into making Matt Reeves' Batman more comic book.
And maybe they can do a switch because I don't think it's too late. But I think I've decided get someone else to be Batman for the DCU. And I think
Gonna be so convoluted.
I know it's gonna be confusing, but I think it's his only way out of this.
I don't think so, because like think about the amount of confusion that Marvel has had over something with just the multiverse. I feel like this can kind of lead into the same thing, that there's a separate Batman. These new movies are coming out at the same time as this other Batman
I know
movie is
it's
happening
so
at the exact
but like,
same time.
And Gunn has said it's his biggest problem right now. Is he
Yeah.
has two separate, but like I think he's trapped himself in a box.
The script was just approved though.
But
for
here's
Batman Part
the
2.
problem. Here's the problem. I mean, I think they were working on the Batman trilogy before the DCU got announced.
Yeah.
And I think Gunn shows up and says, "Okay, I want to do a very true to form DC universe with very true to form characters. I have this really successful Batman movie that has nothing to do with comic book Batman." And I mean that's his big problem. And so either I think he can swallow his pride. I mean, the one thing he could do that is an option, which is very risky, and he could be very hated for it, is cancel the Batman Part 2 and
not
end
happening.
the Matt Reeves Robert Pattinson franchise.
The execs would not let that happen.
But it's like they know it's going to make money, so, and they've already made the Penguin, so I think they want to see that. So I don't know what he's going to do. I will say, and I did want to ask you this, Jackson, because I'm sold on the DCU. Was your love of seeing Superman, as someone who was not sold on it, who was very unconvinced, was very like, I don't really want anything to do with the DCU?
I will tell you this for my answer. I came out of that movie very, very excited for the next 10 years of DCU.
Okay, so you're in. You feel like you want to see the other movies.
I have a lot of hopes for what's to come. Am I a little worried that it can be that hope will not be fulfilled?
Yes.
Yes, but
if they're good movies, you're like, I want to be part
I'm in.
of this.
Yes, because like we weren't conscious enough to experience the start of the MCU.
No.
But we joined on that train about like halfway through, probably around like Guardians.
I think I remember seeing like
maybe a little
Age
bit
of
before.
Ultron. I think Age of Ultron was my first one where I started seeing them in
And
theaters.
it's like, okay, yeah,
I'm
this
very
is good.
Like,
very
Ultron, Ragnarok. What came after that? Civil War.
Yeah.
Like I remember like seeing those in theaters and being like, this is awesome.
Yeah. So being at the start of something potentially just as big as the first 3 phases of the MCU is very excited.
And I like that
excited to be
they've
part
said
of.
it's a 10-year plan. This is what we want to do with it.
Which the first phase, or I think they're calling it chapters.
Chapters, Gods and
are
Monsters.
Gods and Monsters, yes.
Which I think is would be really cool. So I do want to talk about, though, he's got 2 movies planned for next year. One, naturally, is Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which I think smart. It carries right in from Superman. We see Supergirl at the end of Superman talking about going into space. And so Supergirl is going to not take place on Earth. It's going to be like a planet hopping adventure. And Krypto is in that comic, so Krypto will be in it.
Makes sense. I like Krypto.
Krypto's great. And I think
I
that
know
was smart
people
that
are
like I
annoyed.
think people are going to like good. I think that was smart marketing move to make Krypto so likable in this one so that when they say he's in Supergirl, like people want to go see Supergirl.
Let's go see Krypto.
I will say one thing that he's already going into confusion territory is he's cast Jason Momoa as a non-Aquaman character for Supergirl. He's playing like a space bounty hunter named Lobo, which I honestly think he's more fitting for Lobo, and like that's like perfect casting if he wasn't already Aquaman.
Okay.
But again, and I think what I think will be the riskiest move this early in the DCU is for the 3rd live action film to be a R-rated body horror about Clayface.
Is it Clayface is the third one?
Is the
I
third-
thought it was Swamp Thing.
No, it's Clayface.
Oh.
Is there? And the reason it's this early, and this is all Gunn has said, it's like, why is it so early? It's like, oh, the script was done. He's like, yeah. He's like, the script was ready. It was ready to go into production. I greenlit it into production. And so it's going to be the third one released. And I like that mentality. He's like,
He
look.
seems like a
there's-
fun guy to
There's
work with.
clearly a plan. Like they've said that. It's a 10-year plan. But it's very clear to me the plan is subservient to the filmmaking and the scripts. And the filmmaking part is not subservient to the plan. Which I think what happened to Marvel after Endgame. It very clearly became... I don't care if the script is finished. This movie has to come out next
Yeah,
year
the
because that
plan.
carries into this, and then that.
So
puts
he's
this-
focusing more on making a good movie.
He's really focused on the scripts, which I honestly am so like.
You would think that's like common sense.
No, but like it's so true because the post Endgame, I could see it from Multiverse of Madness. I could see it. The directing is great. The casting is great. They're all great. What's wrong? These scripts, these stories, they make no sense. They're badly written. Multiverse of Madness just need like Sam Raimi was an amazing director. He did like the music fight scene in Multiverse of Madness is one of the coolest fight scenes we've had.
Yeah.
But you probably don't even remember what I'm talking
I
about.
remember that. It was
The
fun.
plot, but like you admit that script is terrible.
Oh,
the Quantum
so
Mania script is
bad.
terrible.
Yeah,
and it's very
so
clear
bad.
that they hit panic button on COVID and said, no, forget, we'll rewrite it in post or we'll do something in post. And like I think Gunn has very clearly said, because he's a script writer, that's his original job, and
That's-
he's very clear. Like I want to make sure scripts are done.
Do you think Marvel or MCU would have had better success if after Endgame they paused MCU was done and they just started fresh on a new multiverse, like a new world, and started ground building again from there?
Maybe I think that would be frustrating for people because there were still so many characters in that MCU universe.
They wrapped up with like Spider-Man and like a few others. here
That
and
just
there.
feels anticlimactic. I understand them wanting to go on to the next thing,
Mm-hmm.
and the multiverse made sense as the next thing. It was just badly executed, and Kang was just did not feel like a real big bad. And it was also that it felt like I felt so shortchanged. Thanos had
like
like
years
2
in
minutes
the
of screen time before Infinity War. He has like 2 seconds of screen time in the first Avengers. He has like that 2-minute scene in Guardians, which is the
End
first time
credit
he
scene
really
in Age
shows
of
up.
Ultron, which
The end
makes
credit
no
scene in Age of
sense
Ultron.
because he says, "Fine, I'll do it myself," even though Ultron wasn't his doing at all.
Well, I think it was
might be
it
in
was just
reference
it was
to
a reference
Loki.
to Loki.
Yeah, but
for-
it's just
I
it's
think
funny to put it at the end
it
of
was
that
it was
movie.
weird to put it at the end, but Thanos has that, and then he shows up in Infinity War. So we only see him for like 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Kang was getting like scene after scene. He was in both seasons of Loki. He's in Quantum Mania. Now, I actually did want to talk about this. I know this was like our Superman review episode, but I actually have a great idea for Doomsday. So Avengers Doomsday has a problem right now. You have
People don't
to
like Marvel.
you have to that too, but you have to introduce Doctor Doom as the big bad when he's been nowhere present near this franchise the whole time, right?
Yep.
So I think your only bet is to give him like the best villain entrance you can possibly do, and B, you also kind of have like whatever happened to Kang hovering in the background, right? The last time we really saw, and I didn't see Loki season 2, but he didn't seem that big of a like the Council of
I don't
Kang
know.
seemed
I
to be
didn't
the last
watch it.
thing. Yeah. But anyway, here's what I think you do. You have the opening scene of what's it called? Doomsday?
Yeah.
Have like Doctor Doom
Killed.
like no, it's like an aftermath, and he's just walking over like every corpse of every Kang from every timeline. Like he kills them all, and it's like they were the only thing stopping him from taking over the multiverse, and now he has this mindset of like, I've killed all the Kangs. They were the only thing stopping me from ruling over the whole multiverse, and now no one can stop me. And
Yeah.
that's like the opening scene
Well,
of
that's-
Doomsday.
Okay, I can get on board. with
Like,
that.
wouldn't that be cool? Like, I think that's a cool way to open up Doomsday.
Yeah, I might honestly have to watch Captain America, the new one.
No. No.
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts, yes. Watch Thunderbolts, but don't watch.
Because I think my family's going to see Fantastic Four. in
I would
a
watch
month.
Thunderbolts. I would go see Thunderbolts. Oh, it's not on streaming. See,
It's not streaming yet?
Disney Plus does this annoying thing, and I'd like Brave New World wasn't on Disney Plus by the time Thunderbolts came out, and I was
What?
like, I kind of wanted to see, and they're not like strongly connected, but I would like to have seen the film right before it.
Yeah.
And I don't think Thunderbolts is going to be on streaming before Fantastic Four
Okay.
comes out.
Well, then I'm not watching it.
Okay, yeah.
I'm petty. I'm not watching it.
But back to the DC, to get back to the Clayface movie is a very risky endeavor, don't you think? To backtrack to that point,
The-
to make that the third, like I understand that as like a later project, and if it's good, it's great. But that's a risky move to make your third film in this superhero franchise a villain standalone story that's R-rated and has more of a horror element.
It also will automatically have a less audience because it won't appeal to the children.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
that's,
it's gonna be
the
R-rated.
main audience for
Now,
superheroes.
maybe will be a smaller budget project and so I think maybe, and don't get me
all-
wrong,
Sorry.
I think Clayface horror is like a great idea.
It's also going to introduce us to the world of R-rated DC movies. I'm pretty sure Swamp Thing is going to be R-rated.
That checks out.
There's another one.
And we technically do already have kind of mature R-rated DC projects.
Yeah, we have the
with the
Peacemaker
Suicide Squad and
Peacemaker
Peacemaker.
being TVMA, which that's probably the worst part of the DCU right now. Is that so? The Suicide Squad, most of it is canon, not all of it, but just most
of it.
And Peacemaker, also most of it is canon, except for the Justice League scene.
Yeah.
And Blue Beetle is canon for some reason.
I think it was very unrelated enough to where they were able to bring it into the.
Well, they said it's canon to both DCEU and DCU in two separate fashions. Not saying that movie is connecting them both.
Yes.
But
I think maybe because it was so standalone, you could make the case it's in the
in
DCEU
both.
and it's also could be in
Yeah.
the DCU. Like they mention characters that exist, but they're not in. Like they're not. I will say, what Clayface could pull off one of the coolest things ever, and it's because this is what happens in the Clayface comic One Bad Day. Clayface. If Batman is in like the final 20 minutes of it.
yes.
Like it's Clayface trying to kill a bunch of people or whatever. It's like his origin story, tries to kill a bunch of people. These people think they're about to die. They're cornered. There's no hope for them. Batman like bursts through the ceiling or something and starts fighting Clayface. And that's the end of the movie.
You know who they need to introduce as a villain? Clayface
Who?
is making me think of this. Is oh my goodness, I just forgot his name. The Doctor in Arkham City.
Oh, Hugo Strange.
Hugo Strange.
Hugo Strange, I think, would be a cool
Oh, he'd be
DCU.
such a
Well,
good
would he be a
DCU
good DCU villain? I mean, I think he could
so.
work for both. Matt Reeves could do a lot with Hugo Strange, I think.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool villain. But I think interesting, though, to have like Clayface be the
Protocol
first
10
villain.
commences in
Yeah.
4
Hours. Clayface, though, is an interesting first Batman villain to introduce. Don't
Yes.
you think, too?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
don't get me wrong, though. I think I'm glad that he's picking a villain we haven't seen in the films. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's just not in, I think, any live action films. And the script, I love, though, the scriptwriter has said a big influence for him has been the 2-part episodes that are Clayface's origin story in the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
Which, have you seen those episodes?
No.
Oh, it's probably some of the best that the Batman
Maybe
animated
I have.
series has. It's the
Is
actor.
it the first?
It's the first. It's in the first season, but it's
I might
about
have
how
seen.
Clayface becomes Clayface.
Okay. I was just thinking about this. I think so. Lex Luthor was a great villain in
Oh,
Superman.
we didn't even get to talk about Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Amazing.
I know James Gunn won't be directing, obviously, Batman Part 2.
Yes.
Or Batman Part 3 if Joker's in that one or the
Yeah.
second one. We don't know. But the fact that he's able to at least produce somebody of that level in like intelligence, and the Joker having something of that similar like level of intelligence, because like I felt like the script writing was so good that he was able to find so many little ways to make Superman look like the bad guy. Like
Oh,
it was
yeah.
so smart. Like
Lex's character, right? Like
Lex-
the way he
was
talks
written
about
and the way he was
Superman,
talk, it was
Yeah.
so good.
It's just and Lex was just one of those things where it's very clearly like this guy is a bad dude. Like someone pointed this out, and someone else I saw in this, like when you have a character that can see every side of the matter and and it's like you just don't sympathize with him. You're just like, no, you're a rich dude who hates this guy just because you're jealous of him, and you're going to risk everybody's lives.
evil, unforgivable person.
Yeah, you're an unredeemable monster. Like, no, literally, I was like, man, I don't think I've seen like a villain just this lovably hateable since Jack Horner in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Like, I literally like that's who my mind went to watching that in theaters. But like, no, literally when they're like Metropolis is about to be destroyed, and he goes, no, they chose him, let him die. He's like, we'll stop it when we get to a city I care about. I was like, just totally, just such a megalomaniac, egotistical person. Oh, Sorry if I tapped my mic there, but like I love when Superman goes like, like envy has like corrupted you. He's like, oh, I know that. I'm not dim. He's like so aware that like he's so envious that Superman gets to be this powerful person. And he just, and that was an ultimate brains over brawn story.
Yeah.
Because Superman wasn't the smartest guy in this. But I like that. Superman has never been the smart guy. And that's, someone pointed out to me,
It's Batman.
it's Batman is who Superman is. Oh, did he have that conversation with you? We have a barber who.
Oh, no,
talks
I
about
haven't.
it.
No, I didn't talk to him.
Oh, he was basically like, he was like, all right, we share the same barber who's a great comic book nerd, but he was talking to us and he went, you don't, he's like, the reason Superman and Batman are friends is that Superman never needs Batman. Like, Superman doesn't need Batman. He needs Bruce because Bruce is smart. Bruce has the money. Bruce is kind of is kind of Lex's kryptonite in a way. So, and I hope, here's the thing about what he needs to get right with the DCU. And this is like the one thing that I'm worried Gunn isn't going to get. But again, I'm impatient, so it'll just take time. The central relationship in the MCU and the Infinity Saga is Captain America and Iron Man.
Yep.
Their friendship, their pairing, their views, their differences, their similarities, their archetypes, they carry the MCU. Their relation, their friendship, that's what needs to carry these 10 years of DCU. Is Superman and Batman's friendship.
I don't think it'll be them two. I don't know who it'll be because we were already seeing plot points being developed within Superman about how some of the supers kill, some of them don't, and that's already leading into the it's not Batman versus Superman, but like the same plot line as the game Injustice, not the comic Injustice, of the supers of like around the Justice League are completely at war with one another because one side thinks that they should kill people and the other side does not.
Yeah.
But we've already seen Superman doesn't kill people in this universe, and so he would be siding with Batman. So you wouldn't have that Superman versus Batman conflict.
And I didn't mean Superman versus Batman conflict, and that could be something way later. I meant kind of like a close friendship.
Okay.
And I don't think Gunn. I hope he doesn't do it. I hope they don't do Batman and Superman falling out or do like an Injustice plot. But like very clearly, like it is their dynamic and is their pairing that carry the series. And because we've never gotten like Batman and Superman are like tightly knit in the comics. They're like closest to friends as like superheroes can get. Yeah. And so I hope we kind of get
Which
to
you
see
see
that.
in Lego Batman 2.
You do see that in Lego Batman 2. Very much
see
their
you
dynamic.
smirking.
I can see you smirking in there. So like I hope that dynamic, and maybe like the last film of the DCU is like a true Dark Knight Returns Batman v Superman story.
Which I just rewatched.
He just
It's
rewatched
so
Dark Knight
good.
Returns. I'd never seen the animated film, but I
haven't seen
watched
it
the
yet?
fight scene.
Oh.
The animated version
I
of
need
the
to
fight
lend
scene's
you.
great.
I need to lend you my disc.
Yeah.
Because I have it.
You have the pairing
It's
with-
the deluxe edition, so they're both linked together. There's
Yeah.
no cut. It's so good.
But I think what you're thinking about though, with that talk of like there's like metahumans that are willing to take a life, metahumans that are not. I haven't read it. I'm planning to read it. It's on my read list. There's a DC comic called Kingdom Come about kind of this newer generation of the Justice League that's a lot stricter and a lot have a more stricter, harsh sense of justice, and some of the older reign. So I think like Superman, Wonder Woman, and older Green Lantern, and some others go up against a newer breed of superheroes. But in that version, it's like a younger Batman, it's Shazam, and some of the others, and they end up having to like fight it out.
They won't be able to do Shazam for a very long time.
Yeah,
with
they're
DC.
gonna have to, which sucks because I actually think Shazam's a really cool superhero.
Yeah.
Can they? No, you can't really soft reboot. It's pretty
Yeah.
tied to the
It's-
DCEU.
Yeah, it is very. Unless DCU already kind of nailed the identity of Shazam, and so like trying to change that.
Yeah, I
feel
was just like Shazam 1's a great superhero movie. I
Yeah.
don't think there's much to change there.
so it's not.
But Superman, though, I'm excited. James Gunn, you did it. Like, you did it. Congratulations. You made a good movie about, and like, you got Superman right. It wasn't Man of Steel. It was like Christopher Reeves-esque, classic, hopeful Superman. I mean, that speech at the end that he gives to Lex is like perfection.
Yeah,
It was so good. Everything great about that movie is great.
great movie.
Now, we didn't talk about Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, but I feel like we do have to talk about that briefly.
Oh, yeah.
Did you like Guy Gardner?
I thought he was hilarious. Him and Terrific were both
Yeah,
hilarious.
I'm just glad Nathan Fillion's finally getting his due. He's been in a, and not that he hasn't been like recognized. He's been a very famous TV actor for a long time. But I think definitely this is I think this is one of the first big budget blockbuster
Which
films he's been in.
makes me excited for Lanterns.
Because he's going to be in Lanterns.
which
He's
is
confirmed
next year.
next year. So I
Yes.
think we get next year for the
It's-
DCU we get Supergirl, Clayface, Lanterns,
Lanterns.
and I think season 2 of Creature Commandos
Season 2 of Peacemaker as well.
and season 2 of Peacemaker.
Actually, that might be this year.
Or no, Peacemaker season 2 is this year.
Yeah.
Creature Commandos season 2 is next year.
Yeah.
Which I do want to watch. I do need to see some of the older. Seeing Superman definitely makes me want to go back and see some of the other James Gunn DC stuff because I actually have never seen the Suicide
I
Squad.
haven't either. We should watch it.
We should watch it. I've heard it's really, really good.
We should watch it. My dad watched it. He said he didn't like it.
You don't like it?
Yeah.
I bet I'd like it then. No, I will tell you this. Me and my dad, him and his dad don't agree on much.
No,
So-
you and my dad.
As I said.
You
I
said him and his.
Sorry. Me and his dad, the words aren't matching. We don't agree on much.
We agree on Superman.
We both agree that Superman is really good. So that lets you know how good this movie
Yeah.
is, guys.
Okay. We're running
We
out of
gotta go.
time. We're gonna go watch Superman.
We're gonna watch Superman again.
Sorry for the inconsistent release schedule.
Yes.
But,
we're just releasing
you know,
when we can,
bear with
guys.
us.
Bear with us.
So
Thank you guys for watching till the end. As always, you have great patience, great attention spans. Give yourself a pound on the
not
back.
as much this time.
Not as much as this time, but still impressive.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have to go, but we will see you
watch
on the next
Superman
episode.
if you
Go
haven't.
see Superman if you haven't.
I know we just spoiled
Sorry we
it,
spoiled
but-
all of it if you got to the end of it and you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
but that's on you. All right.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.